And hello, everyone. And thank you very much for joining the Revit webinar today. Now, for those who have missed the previous webinars on the Revit Fundamentals 1, 2, 3, you'll be able to view them on the YouTube channel Civil Survey Solutions, and you'll find them under Revit Webinars. So in Revit Fundamentals 4, we'll be adding some details to our section using a filled region tool similar to AutoCAD's hatch tool. We'll be using cut profile tool to change the shapes of elements like the slab or a wall, which will only be displayed in that particular view that we're working on. We'll next create a wall legend from the legends command, and then we'll go on and create a roof plan and add some annotations like the spot slope and etc. And then for the rest of the session, we're going to be starting a new Revit project, and this will be a multi-unit development using 3 Revit models based on our existing granny flat model. We'll start by importing a 3D survey drawing into the new Revit project, and then we'll share coordinates by using the Acquire Coordinates tool with the Civil 3D drawing. From there, we'll create a new topo service in Revit using that imported Civil 3D file. Next, we'll import the 3 Revit models into our new project and position them onto the site, and also share coordinates to the project using the Publish Coordinates tool. We'll finish off by exporting the 3D model into our Civil 3D drawing by using Xref. So I'll start off where we finished off on the last session, and I'll go to a section view. And with this view, I'll just make it just a hidden line view, make it a bit easier to see. And I'll start by using the Cut Profile tool. The Cut Profile tool's in the View tab, and just here. So first off, I'll select an object or an element that I want to just change the shape of, but just remembering that this change of shape is only affecting the element in this view, doesn't affect the model at all. So I'll select that shape, and I'll just extend down the footing by 200 and go back up. You'll also notice an arrow there. That arrow indicates that that's the side that the element or the shape is going to be built. So I'll just say OK to that, and you'll see that it's now built that profile onto that element. And I'll quickly go and do these other ones. So I'll go 200 down, cross 300 and back up and say OK. And then with this one, I'll select that one, but I'll just go out a bit. And what I'll do here is I'll just move that across. I'll now use the Align tool and align it. It's probably easier to do it that way. And I'll move this one over. So again, our arrow's pointing the right way. So I'll say OK. And now let's drawn. I'll just, I've lost it there somewhere. Must be under a hidden. Just go and do it again. And at the sketch. I'll just take that off for now. It might be not liking that. It wasn't. Okay, so that gives us our cut profiles on the slope. Now, as I was saying, you can do that to the walls and that as well. So just to demonstrate that, I'll just select a wall and I can just add a shape to it and it'll add that shape to it. And that shape can be anything at all, any style. So I'll just undo that. But the next thing I want to show is using the masking region tool, or the region tool, which is like the hatching tool in AutoCAD. So if I go up to annotate and go down to region, we've got two types here. We've got a filled region and a masking region. We'll use both today, but I'll start off with the region tool. And I'll start by selecting, say, 0.1 pen, and I'll just go through our slab for now. And I can draw in invisible lines as well. So I'll just quickly show that. Now if I go across here to a style and select Earth and tick it, you'll notice that it's hatched there now. So as I say, I just did that quickly just to demonstrate it. So I'll just fix up this line here so that it's going around the footings. So I'll go back into a line and I'll select, say, 0.35, doesn't really matter. Actually, making it a bit hard there, isn't it? Actually, what I'll do, I'll delete that and do it properly. So I go to filled regions, and I'll start off by just something to demonstrate. Actually, what I'll do also is I'll notice that everything's on thin lines at the moment. So I don't think we can change it there. No, we can't. Manage. No. Might be under view. Yep, we can under view. We go thin lines. It'll display the line thicknesses a bit better of how they're going to be. So I just go back. I'll select the pick lines tool, 0.25 pen, and I'll just go around where I want the hatching to be. And I'll just trim that down. And notice that line's going through, so I'll just, I could trim it down, or that came up with an area, or just ask the question. It was when I moved it away from there, it said to unjoin it. So now I know that that hasn't got a line through there. So I'll go back. I'll draw a line in this time. Okay, so we've got that line. I also need to put in these ones. So I'll just, again, just trim them. And I'll draw this bottom one as an invisible line again, just to show that. And we've got earth there, so I'll just say okay. So now we've got our hatching on there. Now the next thing I'll demonstrate is adding detail to the brick wall. So I'll just quickly add in some brickwork up through there. So I'll go to the component tool here and I'll say a repeating detail. And I'll select just a single brick. And I'll pick the wall and go up to the top there, and then that puts in our brickwork. You'll notice it's needs to be on a step down. So what I'll do is I'll just step that down that distance. And then this is where the cutout tool can apply too. So I can put a cutout on that concrete slab. Oh, wrong one. Slab. And then I can go from there. And so now that's cut out. Now the next thing I can do is go back to annotate. I can add insulation into the wall. So again, pretty easy to do. You can quickly change the way it displays just with the bulging width. I can go to anywhere you want. The next thing I might do is add in a ceiling using the masking region tool, which can be used for a lot of things. So I'll go to a pen, 0.35, and I'll just put in just a bottom plate there. I'll fix that up in a sec. So I could either align that or I could just grab it and move it across. Say okay. So you'll see when I've put that in, it's just masked out everything behind it there. So I could now quickly go to annotate and add in insulation through there. I could go back to components and I can add a component detail, and I'll just pick a cornice and pick that point there. Go to the other side, I'll use the space bar to flip it. I can use the align tool to align it. Okay, so now what I might do is draw some trusses which might be going all the way through there. So I'll just put them in this section here. So what I'll do is just start, I'll draw a few lines and I'll use, so just put it out here for now. It doesn't matter where it goes. I'll just make it, say, 40 mil, and up. Just line that up. And I'll copy that down, say 70. Copy that one up, 70. And just go for a detail line, and I'll just make it a thin line. Just display it. Okay, so I'll just move that over to the stud wall. And now I'm going to use the array command from the modify tab. And I'll array it 12 times. And it's asking for this move start point. So I'll start from there. And I'll go across to the other end. So that gives us our trusses in there. At any time, you can select any one of those and change that, the number of spacings that are there to whatever you want. And that's probably, we'll do it for now for the section. So the next thing we'll look at doing is the legends and creating a legend. So first of all, we'll go to the view command, and we'll go to the legend drop down and select legend. We can give it a name, and we'll just call it wall legend. We can give it a scale. I'll just leave it at that for now. And then from there, go to the annotate tab and select the component drop down again. And we're going to insert a legend component. So this allows the component not to be recognized in Revit itself as a component when you're doing scheduling and all that. So from the family drop down over here, we can select the component that we need. And we'll say the first one, we'll just say the brick veneer 250 timber, and we'll make it a plan view and locate it. And we'll go down to a 90mm stud and locate that. And then it's just a matter of drawing in all your text, or typing your text in, putting a box around it, and etc. So I'll quickly do that. So I can go for a box, and I'll put a box around there. I can select that, and I'll copy that one down, locate that there. And I can use the text tool. I'll go with the 2mm high, go with left justification, and I'll just say 250. Brick veneer I'll do. Now you're noticing that will all change with the scale that you want. And I'll just add 90mm timber stud. Just change that to 3.5, and I'll just call it wall legend. gives you a good idea of how to do legends. Now from there, we'll go back to our sheets and we'll pull up our plan view. If we go back to our browser, there's now legends on there, and we can drag that legend over and it will now be located onto our sheet. Right, so the next thing I want to do is create a roof plan. So I'll start with the ground floor plan and duplicate it. And then I'll rename it to roof plan. And then I'll go to visibility graphics. I'll select everything and turn off everything. Select none, and then I'll go to roofs and I'll just turn the fascias and gutters on as well. So now I've got it there. So if I don't want the section lines displayed there, I can go there and hide the category. Next, I'll go up to annotate and put in a spot slope. And I'll change the style of that slope. And change the units to be the project settings. So now it's at 5 degrees. So I can add the other slopes on there. I can just drag them in. And of course I can add my keynotes in there, of course. So, and I've got fascias, guttering. So that's a basic, typical roof plan. Now we're going to, I'll just save that and close some of these down, because I'll start a new project up now for our multi-unit. I'll just use the template that we have been using.
John, just while you're setting that up, folks, for those of you that maybe haven't seen the webcast, a lot of what John sort of explained, done there, maybe done a little bit quicker or gone over. He has actually covered in previous sessions. So at the point where we're at now, part 4, pretty much everything that John. Sorry, can anybody hear me now? I've just realised my headset mic was raised up. Could you hear me, John?
Yes, I can hear you now. I couldn't before.
No, apologies. I was just trying to indicate that the previous sessions, a lot of what you've been doing in this particular session is using tools that by the time you've kind of got to part 4, everyone should be kind of nicely familiar with. So if there were aspects of that where you're going, well, what tool was used there? It has been covered in a previous session. The point is that these sessions are about building up knowledge at a very basic level or no level at all, and then presenting you with different tools, different options, but using tools which have also been discussed previously. So I just wanted to make mention of that, John, just before you sort of transitioning into the Civil 3D section. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's very good. Okay. I'll just close that drawing down for now, and I'll just save this as the multi-unit. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I've got, I'll just move this. I've got a Civil 3D drawing open over here. And what I'm going to do is import that drawing file into Revit. So let's move that away, and I'll go to the insert, and I'm going to link that CAD drawing in, which is that one there. So I'll just right click on it for now and just make sure everything's right here. So I've got, I'm converting it to black and white. I'm letting it auto detect the import units. I'm just going through a manual center positioning and putting it on the ground floor, and not going to correct any lines that are slightly off axis. So I'll just say okay to that there now, and then I'll just locate it there. And I'll just go to the site plan view for now. So after I've done that, the next thing I want to do is I'll just go to the massing and site tab, and I'll select property lines, and I'll just sketch an outline of our site. So, okay. And the next thing I'll do is I'm just going to annotate a spot coordinate to that's here. And you'll notice that it's not, our Revit drawing is not the same as the Civil 3D drawing at the moment. So what I'm going to do is go to our Manage tab and Coordinates. I'm going to acquire the coordinates of the Civil 3D job. So that's done that there now. And if we go to our annotation, you'll notice that everything, the coordinates are the same. So everything lines up there. So the next thing I'm going to do is, well, first of all, you'll notice that on our Civil 3D drawing, this job is based from a job done in Tamworth that I did a while ago. And Tamworth is 470 metres roughly above sea level. Our drawing that we've done in Revit is on level 0, so it's 470 metres away. So if I go to our east elevation here, and I'll just turn off our crop views, you'll notice that the imported file is 470 metres away and our ground floor is down here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm just, because this is, we don't need the section line down there, I'll delete that for now, and I'll delete level 1. And instead of calling that ground floor, I'll now call that our base level, which is the base of what the imported file. Okay, so that's done. So we'll go back to our site. The next thing I'll do is create a topo surface using our imported file. So I go to massing, go to topo surface, go to create from import, and then select import instance. And so I select none there, and I'll go down and select site cargo points. Go okay. And okay. Now, one thing, I'll just do a 3D view just to show you the site. The new surface is actually there. I'll go back to our site, and you can't see it there. That's because of our view range. So if I go to edit the view range, and I'll just add a 0 and that on there and make it unlimited. And what I might do also is, we don't need the imported 3D, the Civil 3D file there. So I'll just display our Revit site plan on topo surface. So that's all there. We can change our intervals for the contours. I can label the contours, so I'll just label them through there. So there, I'll just have to change the scale of the site plan to make them readable. And I'll just turn off. So I'll hide that category of our elevation labels there. And the next thing I want to do is just get our site, and I'll just put a sub-region on there just around our site. And I'll change the category to grass, or the material. So when we go to 3D now, it's clearly visible where our site is. So as I was saying, our base level is down on 0, but we're working up here. So I'll go back to the site. The next thing I'm going to do is bring in our units. So I'll just say unit 1 there. So that's just to show you that we go to the site. Our coordinates are on 0, 0 and 0. So when it's imported in, it will not be at the same coordinates as our new project. So I'll go back to insert and I'll say link a Revit project and go to unit 1. Again, we won't be able to see it because it's right down on the base here. So what I need to do is move it up. I'll just up to the top. So you can see it. There it is there. So I can just use the tab key to roughly get it into position. And now if I go to the site plan, it's now located. So I'll just move that a bit. And now I'll go to the next one. Go to unit 2. Same thing. It's right down. And I'll use the move command just to move it up. And I'll just use the arrow keys to locate it up. Again, I'll just move it, and I'll get number 3. And okay, so the 3 of them are in there, but they're not shared at the moment, the coordinates. So I need to, well, which one will I do? I'll share them now, that's okay. So I'll publish the coordinates of each of them. So I go to that one and say okay, go to the next one, okay, and the next one, okay. So now you'll notice that they're sharing the coordinates with our original Civil 3D plan. So if I go to the 3D view there now, they're located on there, but I can still move them about. And that, so I'll just, the first thing I'll do is I'll just draw a quick section line through. Just hide that. Now, we don't want to see all those annotations there, so I just go to Visibility Graphics and I'll turn off the levels just to make it a bit easier there. And I'll also change this to a shaded view so I can see approximately where the ground level is. So I'll just move this one down a bit and I'll move that one up a bit and I'll move that one down a bit. So now when we go to our 3D, they're roughly right. We could probably move those two up a bit, or all of them up just a little bit. We'll just move them all up just a bit. So I'll just grab the three of them. So, yep, that'll do. So the next thing I want to do is I'll create a duplicate of our 3D view, and I'm going to rename it export view. So this is the view that's going to be exported through to Civil 3D or Xref back into the Civil 3D drawing. So I'm going to turn off the views that the surveyor won't want. So he doesn't want my topo surface. So I'll just hide that category in the view. He doesn't want that in there. And if I want to turn off those annotations, as before, visibility graphics, annotations, go down to levels and turn them off. So we'll just save that there now. Now, it's asking me, because it knows that the position of those 3 units have changed. It's going to do this for the 3 units. It's asking for unit 1 now. It's because I've changed it. Do you want to save it? So I'll say, yes, I do. Unit 2, save. And unit 3, save. So the new positions are saved. So whenever you move those or rotate them, any of those units, I'll want to know if you want to change it back into the original file. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go to File. I'm going to export into a CAD format, DWG, and I'm going to export that current view. I'll say next. And I'm going to, I'll leave it at that, the multi-unit 3D view, export view. And I'll say, okay. So that's created the view, or the file, I should say. So now what I'm going to do is go to our Civil 3D and go and Xref that in. So it'll be that drawing. So I'll just say okay. I don't want to have an insertion point, or that because it's a shared coordinate. And there's our 3 units dropped in there. So that's all done and all linked now. So Jonathan, I wonder if there's any questions on that at this stage, because that's basically it.
Yeah, no questions at the moment. I think that was a fairly clear and actually very straightforward process to
Yes.
undertake, as you can see there. And I think to show that process, connecting either way, you know, taking the surface out, bringing it in, but then bringing that content back out into Civil 3D was actually a nice, very clean sort of process, which was demonstrated.
Yes.
So no questions at the moment, folks. You are more than welcome to drop any questions in the Q&A panel. Other than that, John, are you still? Is there anything else you wanted to move on to in this particular session?
Well, not to do with those units, because that covers everything there. Apart from, as anyone would realise, it's all Xref and linked.
Yes.
So when a change is made at one end, say the architect changes something and sends that drawing file through, everyone can update their drawings backwards and forwards, through the cloud or whatever.
Sounds like a very efficient system there, John, because normally the type of stuff I used to get was exploded. So DWG of exploded content with no snaps being used. But anyway, we can all dream.
So
what
I might do is I might go back to our original granny flat drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think one thing I missed out on, we missed out on the other week, was doing an area plan of, so yes, which we haven't got anything there. And so if I quickly make an area plan here now, so I'll just go there, and I want it based off the ground floor. So I don't want those, but I'm going to create an area boundary. I don't want to apply the rules. I'll just go pick lines, and I'll just go around the building. I think I did that one wrong. Fix that up in a minute. So I'll just zoom in here and delete that one. And I'll need to trim that one. There, thin line so you can see it, everyone can see it properly. So now I've got our area boundary line around there. So I'll go to the area tool, and I'll just leave it at area. So that I must put it in twice. I'll just delete one of them. I'll delete that one then. Yeah. So
was it thinking that there were multiple sort of?
Yeah, it was coming up with two. It might have been because this dividing line was in there. Yeah, it was automatically just picking up another one. Maybe there was one already in the drawing that I'd done, but that's picked up. That picks up the area there now of the whole granny flat. And that's about all. Yeah, you can make a schedule of that again, so that can be added into the onto the floor plan and that as well. Do you want me to quickly do that?
Go for it, John. Yeah, yep. Yeah.
So view schedule. areas. So I'll just go with that for now. Just yeah, so there it is.
So you were right. There was one in
there were others in there, so I can delete that row. It might have been in the original, might have even been in that original template. I don't know. Anyway, so that's that there. I'll just move this away. And you'll notice if I can change that name there, I can just call it, say, building area, and that'll update back onto the plan view as well. And of course, whenever the building area changes, so if I do that, I'll just select that and just move it out. You'll notice that the area keeps on changing as well.
So you can change the rounding on that as well, John?
Yes, you will be able to. Where are we? So if I go back, go to there and go into formatting appearance.
Would it be under the area field on that? So I might have sent you into a Pandora's box here.
No,
there we go, rounding. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it's whatever you want.
Great. And I suppose the same goes for the veranda as well, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Okay, folks. Well, look, we will leave it there. We haven't had any other additional questions. We will just quickly finish off with the final slide, which is, again, if you're attending our webcast on a regular basis, just really outlining what we're going to be showing you in the next. I'm just sharing my screen. Bear with me. So this is what we'll be up to in the coming, within August. We're in August now. So we've had Fundamentals Part 4. I've just realized that Part 5 should be in there at the end of the month. So that might be a case that this changes. Part 5 could probably well be on the 26th. They're normally every 3 weeks. They come around, as I was saying to John yesterday, extremely quickly. So it could be that Part 5 is actually at the end of the month. We are undertaking next week. Selwyn, our resident AutoCAD guru, will be undertaking an AutoCAD Styles 101 webinar, things like dimension styles, text styles, multi-line styles, anything that has styles in it, it will be covered to an extent, really, to unpack those. I'll be undertaking a webinar on the 19th of August, which will be showing users how Project Assist works with civil site design. If you didn't get to see my webinar last week, I actually showed some of the team civil site design Project Assist, or some of the attendees Project Assist at the very end after undertaking the project manually. And then yes, the 26th is possibly going to be Part 5. I expect it probably will be. If not, it will be civil site design again. John, thank you very much for that webinar today.
Thank you, everyone. Yep.
Yeah. And thank you all very much for your attendance, and we hope you all stay safe and well. We'll catch up with you hopefully at the next webinar. Thanks ever so much. Cheers, John.
Thank you, Jonathan.